Since she has spent the majority of her adulthood on reality TV, a lot of people have taken an interest in Angela Simmons' private life. And she's one of those celebrities that appears to ignore all the red flags in her relationships. Her romance with Bow Wow went up in flames when she wouldn't give up the draws. Her former boyfriend, skateboarder Terry T.K. Kennedy, was locked up on first-degree murder charges until he was acquitted in December 2022. Things also didn't work out between her and rapper Oscar Skills Salinas, former NFL player Julius Peppers, Romeo Miller, Knowledge Cotty, and Ralph Lauren polo model Morgan O'Connor. And then came Mario Centel Guyton Mims, better known as Memphis rapper Yo Gotti. He took a different approach to catch her attention by name-dropping her in one of his most popular songs. But when that didn't work, he implemented the patience of Job to finally claim the woman of his dreams. Before we get into all the juicy details about their romance, be sure to head on over to rrgsnacks.com, our online concession stand that has an assortment of goodies, including butter toffee peanuts, lemon pepper beef jerky, and our brand new chicken and waffles popcorn. In October 2015, Yo Gotti released Down in the DM. In the lyrics, he raps about having a crush on Angela. People were rooting for them to become an item. However, during a December 2015 interview with a radio station, Angela said she was flattered and he was a nice guy, but she made it clear they weren't an item. That same month, she invited him to the launch party of her designer label, Foofy and Bella. They posed for pictures together, and Gotti sent her some flowers the next day to congratulate her on her new business venture. And that was the end of that. Then came 2016, and Angela once again made it clear to the Breakfast Club that Gotti was a nice guy, but they weren't dating. During that same interview, the topic of her intimate life came up, and when Charlemagne suggested that a man could trap her by getting her pregnant, Angela said it would never happen because she was saving herself for marriage. While Angela didn't reveal much information during that interview, Gotti appeared on Hot 97 in February 2016 to give the world more insight into their little situation. He told the radio hosts that Angela was a cool girl, but things with her never went to the level he was trying to take it. He admitted that he sent her flowers once and sent her gifts a few times, but he never got the opportunity to take her on a real date. Perhaps he wasn't really tripping off of Angela because he had someone else in his life. Gotti confirmed during his radio interview that he gifted one of his children's mothers $100,000 for Valentine's Day because she always kept it 100 with him.
I feel like with you and the mother of your child, why didn't it work out in the past?
I ain't never saying work out.
Oh.
We cool.
So you guys have just a mutual understanding of what it is, and you take care of each other in a sense.
Yeah, we take care of each other.
Okay.
I like that.
In other words, it kind of sounded like he was still cracking her back. 2 months later, in April 2016, Angela announced she was engaged, but she didn't reveal the identity of her fiancé. After news of her engagement hit the web, a social media user photoshopped Gotti's face onto the popular Michael Jordan crying face meme. Gotti thought it was hilarious, so he reposted it. Online users also noticed that Gotti unfollowed Angela, but he confirmed to PST Network that he unfollowed everyone on Instagram about a month before Angela announced her engagement. A month after announcing her engagement, Angela revealed she was expecting a baby. Some people were disappointed that she didn't keep her promise of waiting until after she got married to become intimate. Others were more concerned about what Angela was getting herself into after her fiancé was identified as a man named Sutton Tennyson. His previous rap sheet was blasted all over social media. Even her uncle, Russell Simmons, was a little alarmed about her new relationship. During an episode of Growing Up Hip Hop, Russell grilled Angela about the things he had heard about Sutton's past. Angela stated that Sutton had a rough upbringing and he had been locked up on substance abuse charges and a domestic situation, but she insisted that he had turned his life around and was working as a real estate investor. Although she told People magazine her baby was due in October, she gave birth to their son a month early in September 2016. From there, it didn't take long for gossip blogs to report that Sutton was stepping out on her. Although they had their issues, Angela told E! News in November 2016 that they set a wedding date for sometime in the summer of 2017. But the summer of 2017 came and went. In October of that year, Gotti teamed up with Chris Brown for the song Save It For Me. In the lyrics, he made it clear that he still wasn't over Angela. He raps, "Passed my number to Angela, I thought I had her. Her cuffed her, married, it made me mad. I respected her moving on, but the truth is I want her better. Maybe me saying her name made it move faster. Maybe me being a G was kinda bad for her. But me being a G, I was glad for her. My baby mama was pissed, I ain't heard the last from her." So not only was he ticked off that Angela chose another man, but he also sorta kinda confirmed that his children's mother was still in the picture and upset with how he was fiending for Miss Simmons. In December 2017, Angela announced that she and Sutton were donezo. That meant she was free to date Gotti, right? Yeah, no. In January 2018, she was spotted courtside at several Toronto Raptors basketball games, and sources reported she had a little something going on with Serge Ibaka. But whatever was going down between them didn't last. And then came tragedy.
Atlanta police called to Jewel Drive just before 5 o'clock this evening. That's when a man was found dead in the area with apparent gunshot wounds. No word tonight on who pulled the trigger.
In November 2018, Angela's ex-fiancé Sutton got into an argument outside his Southwest Atlanta garage with a man named Michael Williams. Michael opened fire, shooting Sutton 13 times. Sutton was pronounced deceased at the age of 37. In a series of Instagram tributes, Angela posted a photo of herself, Sutton, and their son, who was 2 years old at the time, along with the caption, "Thank you for leaving behind my greatest gift." Angela spoke at the sentencing hearing and told the court that she cried all the time, knowing that Sutton would miss out on seeing their son grow up. It also hurt to know that her son will never know what it's like to have his dad in his life. Michael was sentenced to life behind bars, plus an additional 15 years for possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. He'll be eligible for parole after serving a minimum of 30 years. Angela continued navigating through the dating world and gave everyone but Gotti a chance. But it looked like she really found the one when she went public with boxer Daniel Jacobs in August 2020. Meanwhile, Gotti was back to following Angela on Instagram and called her perfect on one of her posts. But Angela still wasn't budging. She was too busy nibbling on Daniel's cauliflower ears. So Gotti moved on and was seen leaving flirty messages underneath the Instagram posts of a woman named Yaya, who previously dated boxers Floyd Mayweather and Gervonta Davis. His Insta flirting paid off, and Yaya became his new boo thing. They were spotted having a romantic vacation in Mexico during the pandemic. But not everyone was thrilled with Gotti's new relationship. Yaya posted a picture of herself and Gotti for New Year's Eve, and an online user commented, "I thought he had a crush on Angela." Yaya replied, "Not no more." But the heart wants what the heart wants. Despite tricking on Yaya like there was no tomorrow, things between them didn't work out. And by January 2021, it appeared that things between Angela and Daniel were over as well, after Angela deleted all of his photos from her Instagram. With the stars finally aligned for Gotti and Angela, it appeared so. In September 2022, 7 years after Gotti expressed interest in her, they were spotted hanging out at a club, and Angela was seen reciting the lyrics to Down in the DM. From there, they traveled to Dubai, Paris, and New York.
Hey, women are allowed to work and can start their...
So earlier this year, I ended a relationship and cut off an engagement from a great man. He was a good man. He loved God. He was a praying man. He loved and adored me. He was there for me. He was handsome. He was well educated. He didn't have any kids. He checked all the boxes. But there was still something missing. And I just knew that I could not go through with this marriage. There was just something that did not connect. I felt that there should have been a connection between he and I in order for me to be his wife. And so I cut off the engagement. And it was so difficult because he was a good man. It's easy when a person is not good. You can justify why you cut things off. But when a person is truly a good person, it's hard to explain. So I found myself trying to explain it to family and friends, and they were asking me a whole bunch of questions that, I could not say, exactly why, other than the fact that I just did not feel the connection. There was something that was not there that I needed to be there in order for this to be my husband. And so I stopped trying to explain it, and I just trusted my decision, and I went on. But then I got an epiphany, and it was just like, have you ever been shoe shopping and you saw a nice pair of shoes and it's like, ooh, I love the color. I love the style. The heel is the right size and it's a reasonable price. Like it's on sale and it's a good shoe. But then when you approach the shoe, you see that it's a size 6 and you need a size 7. Does it take away from the fact that the shoe is a good shoe? Does it take away from the fact that you're getting a great deal for the for the quality? Does it take away from the fact that the heel is still the right size? It doesn't matter. All of that still makes the shoe is still good. But if it's not your size, it's not the shoe for you.
Petconomics Savings Lesson 3. The intersection of pet care and wallet care is Vital Care by Petco.
And so that is what I had to accept. Yes, he was a good man. But what that feeling was is that he was not a great fit for me. It didn't take away from who he was. But it was just confirmation that he was not a good fit for me. And that leads me to say that some of us are trying to force relationships when we know they don't fit. It doesn't mean that the person is not good. It doesn't mean that they are not good-hearted people. It just means that they're not a good fit for you. So free them up. Don't continue to settle for things that you know is going to cause discomfort in the future. Me purchasing a size 6 shoe when I wear a 7 is discomfort. Don't do it.
Yo.
So there's a lot that we have to unpack with what we just heard. This is going to be a long video. I apologize that it has to be a long video, but I was on a forum, okay, on Facebook, and one of the brothers said something very profound that made me think, well, I'll be damned. I will be damned. I will be damned. I will be damned. I will be damned. He said, beware, and this may not sound profound to you, but beware of the alpha simp. Now, Yo Gotti, who I don't respect because I really think he has something to do with the untimely demise of young Dolph. I really believe he set that up. That's just my opinion. And I never even liked Yo Gotti's music anyway. I was always like pro Young Dolph because Young Dolph, he came to, he showed Nipsey Hussle's section a lot of love. He was welcome to in that part. He was on 62nd and Bryanhurst. He was everywhere, man. It was all love with him. So you would think that with Yo Gotti's status, right? I think he has a record label under Rock Nation. I mean, he's obviously a millionaire time and time over again. Okay? Yet, this dude was simping for 7 years for a woman who obviously was not turned on by being led with money or even being led with flowers. Okay? I'm pretty sure that guy that she had a kid with was not the first guy that she gave them draws to. I'm 110% sure that wasn't the case. Because I'm going to be honest, Terry Kennedy wouldn't stay around for a long time if the draws weren't given. The other guys wouldn't stay around for a long time if the draws weren't given. Hell, she probably gave Sergey Ibaka the draws because she just figured, okay, well, I broke up with my baby's daddy, so he's the rebound dude, and I just need to go through a little mandatory little rooster carousel phase. And what better way to go through a rooster carousel phase than go through it with a guy who's from the Congo originally and probably has that black mamba in between his pants, right? So you look at this situation and you say to yourself, Yo Gotti raps a certain way, okay? He raps about certain things about being a G and stuff like that, but he did the least thing that a G would do. He did the thing that a G would not do under any circumstances. And that's take a woman who's already a single mother and who's been ran through by God knows who. Okay? There was obviously an archetype of the type of dude she was attracted to. Okay? I hate to say it, but he is, unfortunately, and we may see more of this, the advent of the alpha simp. Okay? You look at a guy like Derek Jacks, it's the same situation, okay? It's the same exact thing. Talks this real man stuff, but it's really far from a real man, okay? Talks about how you have to do this for your woman, this, that, and the other. But meanwhile, this guy is like doing everything opposite of what he's saying that you should do. You have guys like Boyce Watkins. He doesn't fall into the alpha simp category, but he falls into another category. He falls into the placeholder category, which amazingly, Yo Gotti probably didn't fall into the category, but he became that as times were going by. He is an alpha simp because he took Floyd Mayweather's leftovers. Okay? The fact that he chose Floyd Mayweather's leftovers goes to show you where his mind was at. Okay? Now, you look at guys like Boyce Watkins, and you look at the guy who the woman was engaged with, right? And if I were a guessing man, if I were a betting man, the reason why she broke off the engagement is that guy was, number one, not exciting because he didn't engage in Pookie and Ray Ray activities. I'm going to be honest with you, okay? I, myself, and I'm not trying to sound arrogant because we're not supposed to, as Muslims, we're not supposed to like have any kind of nationalism or any kind of self-absorption or any pride. But I thank Allah, subhanahu wa ta'ala, that he made me a continental African. Because at this point, I find zero attraction in black American women. At all. None. That includes just American women in general. But because of their ways, especially the black American woman. Okay? Now, the thing is this. The way she described the man, it sounds like the perfect type of man that would build a life, that would build a future with her. The problem is, and I know what the problem was, he did not check the boxes of being a Pookie or a Ray Ray. Okay. Now there's a book actually that kind of led to this, and it was a social. I don't know if the author intended for the book to do that, but it did it anyway. But there was this book called Dutch, okay? And the thing is, there was this guy, he was like a mob, like he had Italian mob ties. He was this black dude, he had Italian mob ties. There was this woman in the book who thought that he was dead, okay? She thought he was dead. So what she did is she settled for a honest guy, a honest wage earning guy who didn't have mafia ties, didn't have anything like that. Okay. What happened then is that she found out that the mobster guy was alive. So what does she do? She dumps the good guy, right? And goes to meet with the mobster guy. They get married. He gives her the life that she wants. But unfortunately, she meets her demise by, I think, getting set up in a like a car accident or something like that. So she met her demise. So I hate to say this, okay? And I'm just going to say this. Don't listen. And I'm not telling you to listen to me, okay? Don't listen to women about what they want, okay? Because usually what they want or what they say they want is opposite of what they are really attracted to, okay? That's the bottom line. If it were up to women, right? If it were really up to the Wicked Witch of the West, right? The ideal situation for the Wicked Witch of the West, I'm going to tell you this right now. The ideal situation would be for her to extract resources from that honest guy, be it he's an engineer, be it he's in some kind of like IT field or something like that, or be it that he is into a honest living. The ideal situation for the Wicked Witch of the West would be to extract his resources, but get her back blown out by a guy who has none of that, okay? Especially the black woman in this country, okay? Even with these divestors, right? They're not really attracted to the women or to the men that they're with, but they figure that the extraction of resources is what matters. Okay? I actually knew a Lebanese dude who actually married a black American woman, and the only reason he married her was for the papers. But again, he had resources, okay? I don't know what he was into exactly, but he had resources regardless, okay? If he just married for the papers. But I want to end on this note because I don't want to make this video too long. But I'm not saying a lot of guys, surprisingly, and I'm not going to name names, but in the manosphere or the red pill or the MGTOW community, you will have a lot of alpha simps and you can't really take heed to them, okay? Now, what I want to say is this. MySpace occupies a peculiar section because it's geared mostly towards Muslims, but it's mostly geared towards just men who are old school men who may be in young bodies, who may be young of age, okay? Now, you will find a lot of alpha simps in the in this space of ours. So it's your job to weed them out, okay? You have to put their how shall I say it? You have to put their I don't want to say you have to test them, but you have to see what kind of energy they have when they're dealing with women, okay? Especially if it may be a woman that they are attracted to, okay? So, with that being said, unfortunately, there will be a more advent, there will be an advent of the alpha simp, and there will also be an advent of placeholders, okay? Now, I want to leave you guys with one thing. The women of the West, as we see, cannot function without dysfunction, okay? They want someone who looks dysfunctional, right? For example, me, myself, okay? And I'm just saying this not to brag, but, I box, you know what I mean? But I'm also good with the machete, right? But I wouldn't broadcast these things, and these things are only, the boxing is for sport, and the machete is for self-defense. Many, I would say all the women that I come across, and that's very few because I choose not to interact with any Western woman, know this about me because I don't care to share this part about me. Okay? But what I'm saying is that this isn't even good enough for them. You have to be someone who is basically willing to put it all on the line, willing to lose their life for not only her, but just for her excitement. Okay? So what I recommend, okay, is live your life like a soldier. Live your life like these guys. Hold on. I'm going to show you an edit I made real quick. You should live your life like these guys because the thing is, with these guys, they are soldiers for sure, but they're also fathers. They're also law-abiding citizens, but they know how to use different types of weapons to get the job done. Now, this is still not good enough for the Western woman, but it's good enough to keep you balanced in order for you to maintain that kind of, I want to say, that backbone that's needed because they're trying to emasculate us anyway. Now let me see if I can find an edit that I made, and I'll go from there. I'd be making hella edits and I'd be deleting hella edits because I'm never satisfied, I'm never ever satisfied. But let me try to find one. Let me try to find one. And then I'll end the video. Let me see. Just give me 1 second. I guess I should do. So, what I'm about to show you, yeah, it's actually troops of Afghanistan, okay? Now, mind you, they came out of 20 years of war, and they are now something that I didn't even recognize. But I will show you a little bit of it just to show you that you should live your life like a soldier, but not necessarily, you don't have to be a soldier. You know, you don't have to. As a matter of fact, I wouldn't recommend enlisting in the military, you know, in this country. But what I'm saying is that just try to have these traits. Just try to have these traits when it comes to just how you're moving, you know. Like, have the discipline, have the tenacity to basically I want to say hold a line. And part of that line is definitely not giving these women the time of day. Because basically what you just heard just goes to show you what time it is with the Western woman. Okay? Let me see. I'm trying to look for this, man. Where did I put this? Okay. Did I delete it? I be having so many things on my phone, man. I just want to show you guys. And then I'll end the video. If I can find it, man. I got so many things. Jeez Louise. Okay, maybe I have it somewhere else. I think I have it. I think I got an idea, actually, of how I can get it. Let me show you guys. Okay. All right, here we go.
We will win this conflict by the patient accumulation of successes. Stay until the mission is done. We cannot afford to lose Afghanistan.
These long wars will come to a responsible end.
Our troops will fight to win. We will fight to win.
If I wanted to win that war, Afghanistan would be wiped off the face of the earth. It would be gone. It would be over literally in 10 days.
The war in Afghanistan is now over.
Musulman millat dadara drono patru mubarak.
All right, so you guys get the picture. So what I'm saying, I'm going to end this right now because I went over a little bit. If you're a man in the West, what I recommend, and I'm reminding myself, get yourself into something that will preoccupy you. And it's not even about self-improvement. It's just about preoccupation. So you won't think about the fact that maybe, when it comes to these Western women, it's basically, it's done. The West is finished in that regards. So get yourself into something like, I don't know, like maybe some, some type of hobby. In addition to boxing, I think maybe now for me, I may need to get into some scuba diving as well. And so maybe I need to get my scuba diving license because I know that in Cabo Verde, where a great majority of my family is, the waters are very lovely for scuba diving. So with that being said, it's SYSMB. Save yourself, Muslim brother. And I'm off until the next one. Injarama.